We have a whole bunch of people that could share with you what happened in their lives at Big Weekend. Well, we have one person we want to call up tonight to do a little interview. We call this Joprah. If you're kind of trying to figure out what that is, Joprah. I have a little bit of the fro thing going. That's the closest I'm going to get. But anyway, you get the idea. Would you please welcome Ellie Case up here for a few minutes? What are you going to use? Why don't you hang on to that one so you can use it? That's what I'm thinking. There we go. Okay, great. All right. Hi, it's good to see you. Would you please introduce yourself to everybody real quick?
Hi, I'm Ellie.
And you go to school where?
At U of I.
Awesome. And, there's a couple fine institutions of higher learning within 8 miles of each other here. How did you choose the one you did?
Well, I'm from Idaho, so that was a pretty easy choice just because it's familiar. I've been here a few times, and it's less expensive than out of state.
Yeah, it's less expensive to be out of state at U of I than in state at WSU. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. Oh, that was awkward. We should practice that. That was kind of awkward. You know, when I first came up to U of I, tuition for a semester was $550.
It's not the same, I promise.
Yeah. Some of you going, how old is he? Well, it's gone up 1,000% every year, duh. So I'm only 24 or something. So anyway, and what are you studying, Ellie?
I haven't really had a clue, and in the past week, actually, I've had an idea for management and human resources. So we'll see.
All right. And so tell us a little bit about growing up and your walk with God and everything. What was it like, your family life, your background in faith and everything?
I went to a Catholic church until second grade, and then from there until I came up here, I went to a Presbyterian church just in the town that I grew up in. Both my parents are very strong Christians, and it's been awesome to see them grow together in the last few years too. But I was always really involved with youth group and church camps and doing lots of worship teams, and in high school I did a lot of FCA and had fun with that. And it's a struggle though sometimes in high school, being just a few people that being of a faith background, and especially being around a lot of the LDS community in small towns like that. But
was FCA kind of the connecting point for you with other believers, or did you have a youth group for your church? Or
yeah, we had a youth group. Actually led worship for it for a couple of years, and it was very small. Most of the time held in the pastor's house. With 10 kids being a huge number. And our church actually started a church camp a couple of years ago, and so that's been really cool to see it grow. There's a few different churches that help out with that. So
awesome. When there comes a point in everybody's walk with God where things kind of sort of click, it kind of becomes your faith becomes your own. Can you tell us when that happened for you and what happened there, what God did there?
About the middle of my senior year, when I was applying to a bunch of different colleges, I applied to 8 schools. I really had no idea where I wanted to go. I applied everywhere, and Idaho was my backup school. It was majorly last on my list. I just wanted to go somewhere else. I wanted to get out of Idaho, not for any specific reason. But it all kind of came crashing down. Just God had different plans, to say the least. A few different things with scholarships and getting some scholarships from Idaho and visiting here. And so it was about, I guess, almost the end of my senior year before I even decided to come to Moscow. But just having to make the choice to come up here and then being able to find a church here on the first day of school was the most amazing blessing I've ever had.
So what happened there? Tell us what happened. Because a lot of people are going, oh my gosh, there's fluorescent shirts everywhere. Everywhere I go. I was in the bathroom and a fluorescent shirt jumped out and handed me lemonade, and so what never drink lemonade in a bathroom, by the way, but anyway. Especially if there's no ice in it. But anyway, tell us what happened there.
Well, CCF was out on campus at U of I. I think it was Palooza Fest. So they had the lemonade, and I came to school really having no idea where I wanted to go to church. I didn't really know anything about any churches up here. So I just got lemonade and signed up with one of my other friends. And I think I went to church first, and then CCF. And I was blown away by the expressiveness of people's faith here. Just because my church at home is mostly an older population where we couldn't turn up the amps too loud because people had hearing aids. So it was much different coming here, and I think I missed one CCF that year. Just I clicked into it so fast and met so many people. So.
And was that kind of a big adjustment on the culture side of things, or was it sort of like, oh, cool, this is great. There's young people without hearing aids and whatever.
Kind of a 360 twist from the church that I grew up in to coming here. I've had to learn. It wasn't just snap of the fingers and I was jumping around in the front during worship. I'm used to reading out of a hymnal and yawning a lot during the music. But God kind of just showed me that my timidness and kind of shy attitude, it kind of just goes away when I get to worship Him. And that's really helped me hear even people just telling me, don't be afraid to worship, don't be afraid to put up your hands. Because I'm not doing it for the people, I'm doing it for God. So that was a huge learning experience.
So if there's somebody here tonight who's kind of going, that's just not me. I just can't ever really see myself, looking beyond a hymnal or whatever, and this is all kind of foreign. What would you say to them? What would your advice be?
It was a heart thing for me, especially Big Weekend helped a lot too. Just with a lot of lessons and words from God about being able to express yourself. And I didn't think that I ever would come up here in the front and go crazy and jump around and run around like everyone else. I kind of had an attitude of being distracted by those people when I first got here because it was so foreign. But I mean, it's not something that you're forced to do. You're not forced to worship God. He wants you to, and He's blessed by it. And that was the biggest thing for me, is that God wants to see it, and I want to make Him happy. I want to please God. And I'm not doing it for the people around me, and so I don't have to be afraid, especially in a setting like this, because everyone does it. Sometimes if you're looking kind of down and not as expressive, people are like, hey, come on, let's, join in. It's awesome. But that was crazy at Big Weekend, especially the floor. I literally thought we were all going to fall into the next level.
That was awesome. I went downstairs to kind of look, and I asked the camp director to come down and look, and he goes, yeah, I've kind of seen it sort of like that before, and it was okay. I don't feel much better about it, but thank you. That's good. So cool. And then last question for you, Ellie. As you look at the rest of your college career, you've got a couple of years left ahead of you. But what do you feel like God has for you to accomplish in that time? What does He want to do in you or through you or whatever? Obviously, you're here to get a degree is one of the primary things and everything. But how is it you see God using you? What would you like to look back on and say, this is what happened in my time here at U of I?
I want to be able to have those relationships that aren't just superficial, that really go down to the heart level of getting so close to God that people see it when I haven't even said anything. That people see it just when I'm walking in class and being able to say hi and have that just correlation between me and my faith, that it's just out there all the time. So I've always been a pretty reserved person. And I think of how many times in high school I could have shown my faith more. And so just learning so much about that this year and last year, that really just putting God first and always in center, that makes Him shine through instead of me. So I guess that's the biggest thing, is just not having fear at all of what people think, but just really letting God use me any way He wants to, because I've always kind of held back, so it's different.
And you've seen some of that happen this year, haven't you? Yeah,
Totally.
God's doing great things. Awesome. well done. It's pretty cool. It's amazing to see what God's doing in the LA. Look forward to see what He does in the years ahead, and know that it's going to bear great fruit. You're going to leave a lasting mark on your generation, your time here at U of I. So well done. Cool. All right, let's give Ellie a round of applause. Good job. Great job, Ellie. Thank you. Cool.